What's going on? It's your boy Cyrus here with my Alpha-Logic-Fallacies team. We're here in Brick City, Newark, New Jersey. I brought the fam out here to see, where I come from, my origins. So what we want to do today is just give you a little feedback about where we come from. We want to introduce the audience to JayNV. We want to introduce the audience to Santos, so you guys can be more in touch with where we come from. So Jay, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
What's up? You already know it's your boy JayNV. Originally born and raised in New York City, the backyard right here from New York. I was in the Bronx for about 4 to 5 years, went to Queens. I was adopted at a very early age. I've been in New York since 18, so all my childhood to teen years was in New York. I then came to Miami. That's how I met my man Cyrus. But 2001, I met Cyrus in 2009. We became friends. Now we're brothers on this podcast. I'm widowed now. I have 3 girls. And I'm on this podcast to let it known what it is for a king to treat all queens. And this is why I'm here, man.
Nice.
Dope.
Okay, that's what's up.
Thank you for having me. Always.
Santos. All right, Santos. Well, let the audience know where you're from. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right, guys. What's up? I was originally born in Miami. My mom's Puerto Rican and Colombian. My dad's from Honduras. I got 2 little girls. They mean the world to me. I've always been an entrepreneur on my own shit. Get money however it is.
What are your hobbies? What are some of the things you like to do? If someone didn't know you, what would be something that if someone didn't know you, they'd be interested in finding out about? Or something you like to do?
I like to do extreme shit. Yo, in every aspect of life.
She's very extreme.
Very
extreme. As you can see in the podcast, she's extreme. So she's very extreme.
Anything that gets my heart running.
Okay. But you like heights? You like heights? Scared of heights?
No.
Except that.
That's about it. No. I like sports. I like competition. I like doing a little bit of everything. I just don't like the heights. No skydiving. No zip lining for me.
What makes you guys consider yourself to be an alpha?
Well, so I'll take lead on that. So an alpha to me is a mindset, right? A lot of people think that you have to either be an overbearing man or an overbearing woman, right? But being a leader in all aspects, right? Setting your own path, setting your own trends. Something that all of the friends that I have and all of the family members that I have know about me, even co-workers, right, is that I set my own trends. I never follow any trends. I've always been a leader. Anything that I've done, whether it's been good or bad, it's always been something that I started or something that I wanted to do or something I led the path to do. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Right? Like this podcast was something that I kind of talked about a little bit, and I said, you know what, let's make this happen. And now we're here, right? And we're making moves with the podcast. But again, alpha to me is a mindset. It's all about how you approach things, your vision on things, your outlook on things. What do you consider an alpha?
Well, in addition to what Cyrus was saying, leadership goes a long way. One thing that makes me where I'm at, especially in this podcast, where I fit in this podcast, is my confidence. I'm very confident in what I do as far as work. I love to work. I like to get my grind on. I like to get my hustle. So with that, I lead in the way of what it is to be in a position where I'm at right now by working hard, being diligent in what you do, and staying confident, believing in yourself, and believing in the things that you want to do for a greater good. That's where I'm at. This is my position right now. That's why it's so dope to be a part of this podcast because of what I bring to the table. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Vanessa, what do you feel is?
Just always staying focused. Always putting something into motion and going forward 100%. Always doing what you can with minimal resources.
Absolutely.
What Cyrus said, he once told me, and I've heard it from the greater men, you know what I'm saying? No risk is no reward. So,
absolutely.
If you're not out here doing what it needs to be done for a better tomorrow, then what are we doing? We're wasting time.
A little backstory about myself, right? We introduced JayNV, we introduced Santos. A little bit about myself. I was born here in Newark, New Jersey. I moved to the city of North Miami Beach, right, which I made my home at a very early age, but my heart is still here. My father passed away here when I was 4, so I come here very often to come see my father and see my family. The majority of my extended family lives here in Newark, New Jersey as well, so this is why I still call this home, right, even though North Miami Beach was where I was pretty much raised in the county of Dade. Dade County is in my heart. I represent Dade to the day I die. I come from very humble beginnings. My mother raised me as a single mother. I saw my mother struggle. I saw her succeed. You know, there were certain sacrifices she made to make sure that I was well taken care of. And she's been my idol all my life, right? So that's why I always say, when I always hear podcasts, people say, well, a man is supposed to be the strongest one out of the couple. I was raised by an alpha woman, you know what I'm saying? So that right there showed me that a woman can be an alpha, right? And I'm alpha, king alpha, right? I consider myself an alpha. So for all the people who think that only a man can be an alpha, that's a fallacy. And that's why the show is called Alpha-Logic-Fallacies.
Fire. All right, I got a question. So what was like the first moment y'all realized you were an alpha?
So I would say at a very early age, in kindergarten, because I would always want to do things my way. If we were playing little games, if I was at somebody's house, we're playing games, no, I don't want to play that, we're playing this, right? That right there already set that in stone for me. And I knew what I always wanted. It was never like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. I was always securing what I wanted out of life, out of every single situation I've been in for the most part.
And people pretty much feel the energy. Like you just come with that presence. And it's always been like that for me as well.
And they follow too, you know what I mean? Because when you're driven and you know where you're going, all of a sudden you got 3 or 4 people following, right? What about you? When was the first time you realized you were an alpha?
I mean, to be quite honest, man, it took me a little time to find my way. When I started realizing where I stood at in life as being a leader is actually when family was introduced to my life, getting married, having kids. You know what I mean? Because at a very adolescent age, yeah, I was a great team player, but you know what I mean? I was all about being a leader, but I didn't really know how to continue on being a leader, so to speak, of like what I wanted to do. I was just so confused. Didn't really have the best childhood, but responsibility took a great deal of why my leadership is so important, because I have family to look after. And without my leadership, you know, there is no family, no structure. So, I mean, I guess beginning of 2003, when my alpha instinct started kicking in for the most part. I started realizing where I was at. This is what I need to do. This is why I was here. So let's get it, man. I've been on the grind ever since.
Nice.
What's the future of the Alpha-Logic podcast look like?
The future of the Alpha-Logic podcast, Yeah, you know, that's a broad spectrum, right? Because I think we have big dreams, you know what I mean? Big goals, big dreams, big expectations for one another. I think, you know, the road is unpredictable, right? But we're going to try to make it the best that we can. We got a lot of new production that's coming up. We got a lot of new guests that are going to be coming on, a lot of new topics. We want to make sure that we're in tune with the topics. We're going to have giveaways that we're going to be doing, like merch, like sweaters, you know, hoodies like this, hats like that, some of the t-shirts. So we're going to get the audience more involved with the podcast. They'll be able to win certain prizes by doing participating in certain giveaways that we're going to be doing. So we have a lot of good stuff coming up.
I totally agree with that too, and it's all about the love, man. I mean, getting the listeners, you know what I'm saying, building relationships to the people that could actually vibe with us. Like what we're talking about, we're bringing truth to reality of what people want to listen to. So, I mean, building relationships is important when it comes to our podcast. So for our future, I'm hoping that we're going to build relationship within us and all those who are actually listening. Because I think it's important, you know, the more that we can put out, the more relationship we'll build, the more that we could be here together, listening, talking shit, and being there for one another. Some people you might say something, Santos, that somebody, a female's not even afraid, she's afraid to talk about. But you put it out there.
And believe it or not, we get a lot of our content from you guys as well. So it's very detrimental.
Yeah, I think, you know, I want to thank you first of all, because I think you've brought to light a lot of things that a lot of women are scared to speak about, right? But it shows a lot of confidence. That right there is an alpha trait. That confidence that she brings to the table every single time, just like JayNV, just like myself, that shows the alpha quality on its own, right? So we're going to continue to bring that, and we're going to continue to request feedback from the audience. You know what I mean? Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what topics you want us to discuss, right? Regardless of what they are, even if they are touchy subjects, right? We want to hear this stuff from you guys, because it's important for you guys to interact with us. This is all about the fans, all about the audience, actually.
Right, you know? Remember, and we're going to back up the name at full 100 extent, because we're bringing it to the real situations, real life scenarios, whether it's relationships, ideas, how people think, how women think, how men think. We're going to continue to bring realization to real life situations and just talk about it freely, you know, real genuine. And I think that's what we bring to the table, is real life situation at a very genuine altitude of what's going on out here. People love to hear that shit, and I'm all about that.
Absolutely. So, to sum this up, we're here in Newark, New Jersey. It's my birthday weekend. We're gonna turn up. We just flew Santos in. She just came in, so now the team is full.
Bang.
We're ready to take on the city.
We're freezing out here, guys. We're freezing.
We're about to paint the city red, so stay tuned for some great content. And we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. We're very humbled by the audience. So thank you very much.
Peace.